Biological classification. Since the dawn of civilization, there have been many attempts to classify living organisms. It was done instinctively, not using criteria that were scientific but born out of a need to use organisms for our own use for food, shelter, and clothing. Aristotle was the earliest to attempt a more scientific basis for classification. He used simple morphological character to classify plant into trees, shrubs, and the herb. He also divided animal into two groups, those which had red blood and those that did not. In Linnaeus' time, two kingdom system of classification with plantae and animalia kingdom was developed that included all plant and animal respectively. This system did not distinguish between the eukaryote and the prokaryote, unicellular and multicellular organism, and photosynthetic green algae and non-photosynthetic fungi organism. Classification of organism into plant and animal was easily done and was easy to understand, but a large number of organisms did not fall into either category. Hence, the two kingdom classification used for a long time was found inadequate. Besides gross morphology, a need was also felt for including other characteristics like cell structure, nature of wall, mode of nutrition, habitat, method of reproduction, evolutionary relationship, etc. Classification system for the living organism have hence undergone several changes over the time. Though plant and animal kingdom have been a constant under all different systems, the understanding of what group organism be included under these systems have been changing. The number and the nature of other kingdom have also been understood differently by the different scientists over the time. R.H. Whitaker 1969 proposed a five-kingdom classification. The kingdom defined by him were named Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, and Animalia. Main criteria for classification used by him include cell structure, body organization, mode of nutrition, reproduction, and the phylogenetic relationship. The three-domain system has also been proposed that divide the kingdom Monera into two domains, leaving the remaining eukaryotic kingdom in the third domain and thereby a sixth kingdom classification. Earlier classification system included bacteria, blue-green algae, fungi, mosses, fern, gymno, and angio under the plant. The character that unified this whole kingdom was that all the organisms included had a cell wall in their cell. This placed together group which widely differed in other characteristics. It brought together the prokaryotic bacteria and the blue-green algae cyanobacteria with other group which were eukaryotic. It also grouped together the unicellular organism and the multicellular ones, say for example Chlamydomonas and the Spirogyra were placed together under the algae. The classification did not differentiate between the heterotrophic group fungi and the autotrophic green plant, though they also showed a characteristic difference in their wall composition. The fungi had a chitin in their walls while the green plant had a cellulosic cell wall. When such characters were considered, the fungi were placed in the separate kingdom fungi. All prokaryotic organisms were grouped together under kingdom Monera and the unicellular eukaryotic organisms were placed in kingdom Protista. Kingdom Protista has brought together Chlamydomonas, Chlorella, earlier placed in algae within plant and both having cell wall, with Paramecium and the amoeba, which were earlier placed in the animal kingdom which lacked cell wall. It has put together organisms which in earlier classification were placed in different kingdoms. This happened because the criteria for classification changed. This kind of changes will take place in future too, depending on the improvement in our understanding of the characteristics and evolutionary relationship. Over time, an attempt has been made to evolve a classification system which reflects not only the morphological, physiological, and reproductive similarities, but it is also phylogenetic, that is based on the evolutionary relationship. In this chapter, we will study characteristics of kingdom Monera, Protista, and fungi of the Whitaker system of the classification. Kingdom plant and animalia, commonly referred to as the plant and animal kingdom respectively, will be dealt in the 3 and 4 chapter. Biological classification. Since the dawn of civilization, there have been many attempts to classify living organisms. It was done instinctively, not using criteria that were scientific but born out of a need to use